Hello BookTube, Sarah here, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to a weekend reading vlog. This is the Create Your Own Readathon weekend, and today is Saturday, May the 18th, and I am going to vlog for you guys this weekend. I'm actually going to vlog for the entire weekend because it is a long weekend here in Canada. It is the Victoria Day long weekend, so I am off work on Monday. So the Create Your Own Readathon only lasts through till Sunday, but I am going to vlog through until Monday because I've kind of missed doing this, even though I totally vlogged last weekend. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to do this again for a few days this weekend while I'm off work and things like that. My original goal, I think I put myself for this weekend, is 8 hours. I don't think I'm going to hit it. Reason being, I have got 0 reading done today so far, and it is 7 o'clock at night. So I am a little bit delayed getting to this vlog. I do apologize. It has been an insanely busy day. I have been on the go since 8:30 this morning. So this is the first time I've had a chance to actually sit down all day long. Other than, while I was at brunch and at bingo this afternoon. But it's pretty much been like busy the entire time. I got a little bit of reading done at bingo, and I got a little bit of my audiobook listened to on the way home from there. But really nothing to report. So like I said, busy day. This morning we were up and out the door at 8:30 this morning with Goran to take him to the vet. It was just a routine checkup, nothing to, there was no concerns or anything. It's what they call a wellness check. So, like we should be taking him every year, but I honestly think it's probably been 2 years since the last time that we took him. And because he is asthmatic, we want to make sure that he's kind of looked at. And he is older. He'll be 12 in August. So, we got to keep those appointments up. But financially, it's difficult because the vet can be very expensive. We spent a little bit more than I had anticipated because he needed 2 shots while we were there. He needed one vaccine for something. I'm not sure what it was for, but it's a accumulation of 3 different airborne viruses that cats can catch, an FVP something something. I can't remember the acronym, but so we needed to do that. And he needed an update on his rabies vaccination, which is very important. So we got both of those done, plus his wellness check. But the good news is that he seems to be in great health. There are no concerns with him or anything other than the asthma. And we also got a refill on his prescription, and that will last us actually a year. So that'll take us to next May, when we will take him back again for his next checkup. So our plan is sometime this summer, maybe in August or September, is to get Bernard in, to have him checked out, because he's never been to the vet since we've had him. Like, he was checked out when he was at the animal shelter, but we haven't had him checked. And I do want to keep up with his stuff too, because he will also probably need a booster on his rabies vaccination and stuff like that. So even though they are not outdoor cats, it still doesn't hurt to be safe, right? So anyway, so that was that. That was super quick though, that appointment. We got there just like 2 or 3 minutes to 9. We walked in the door, we didn't even sit down. And they took us into the back. The nurse or technician checked him out first, weighed him. He is almost 27 pounds. He's huge. And the vet made comment to watch him because with a cat that size, or an animal that he is overweight, let's be honest. There's a concern eventually down the line for diabetes, but he has always been big. We honestly think that he is part Maine Coon, and you just have to look at him and you can tell. And also he is on a steroid puffer for his asthma, so steroids of course are going to make you kind of bulk up a bit, right? So that's my excuse, but he does like treats and stuff like that, so we just have to maybe watch that a little bit. But anyway, or maybe put him on like the weight control food. So yeah, so that was the only comment that the vet made. But other than that, like his ears, his eyes, no tenderness in his stomach and anything like that. So that was good. So like I said, we were out of there by 9:15 and like paying and everything and out the door. So we got home and I called my mom and we met her and my dad up for brunch for Dad's birthday. And we had a really nice brunch at this little tiny cafe, like a diner, down by my parents' place. And I really do like it. The food's really good, and it's very affordable. I mean, the 4 of us had breakfast or brunch for like $35, so you can't beat that. And then my dad drove Garrett home because he was coming out this way because my aunt, or my dad's sister, lives just literally, she's 2 minutes away from me. So he was going over to her place because they were then going to go see the new John Wick movie. I don't know anything about that. But he dropped Garrett off at home, and then my mom and I went to bingo, which we did crap. We didn't win anything. And then I came home from that, and I was exhausted. So I actually laid down for about an hour for a nap. And I didn't sleep the whole hour. It was kind of more just laying in bed, just being lazy. I'm sure I nodded off at some point. But yeah, and then I got up about 4:30ish, quarter to 5, and Garrett and I decided to go do our groceries because, like I said, it's a long weekend, so everything's going to be closed on Monday, and the stores, I'm sure, are just going to be jam packed tomorrow with people because everything being closed on Monday. So I said to him, I go, let's just go now and get it done and over with, and then we don't have to go out tomorrow. So that was our game plan, and that's what we did. We just got back about half an hour ago, and I've just been kind of sitting here. I edited the last clip of the weekly reads that I'm hoping to get posted by before midnight. Would be lovely. So I'm just gonna finish editing that and get that posted up. And then I just plan on sitting here for the rest of the evening. I want to do some cross stitch. I was gonna listen to my audiobook, but I'm just like, I just want to watch some CSI, some BookTube. And that's pretty much my game plan for the night. I'm going to try and figure out what I'm going to have for dinner. We're kind of doing a make your own kind of thing, like a fend for yourself kind of night for dinner. Garrett really wants to do stir fry. He loves stir fry. I am not personally a fan. I like chicken and rice together, but I don't like the stir fry. Like, he tends to use like a barbecue sauce. Or back when we lived with my in-laws, my father-in-law loved making it with like a butter chicken kind of sauce, but I'm not a sauce person. I'm not someone who likes a lot of sauce on stuff. Like, you would laugh if you ever saw me eat spaghetti because literally, no joke, 2 tablespoonfuls. That's all I put for spaghetti sauce on my spaghetti. Lots of vegetables on there, but like for sauce, it's very little. I am not a ketchup person. I don't like dipping fries in ketchup. I do tend to dip my fries in mayo, which I know is like a British thing, and I don't know. I know where I got it from because back in high school, on Fridays, like it wasn't every day, but on Fridays, our school cafeteria would do French fries, and my best friend Amber and I used to go and get fries, and we get a box of French fries. Well, if one person bought them, the whole group of people were like, "Oh, you bought fries," and suddenly they'd all be gone. So Amber and I thought it would be fun, and we started putting mayo on them because then nobody'd be like, "Oh, I don't want mayo on it." So that's kind of where I started eating it. But I've heard from people, like, when I eat it now like that, they're like, "Oh, that's a very British thing." And I'm like, I have British ancestors, so maybe it's somewhere in my DNA. I don't know. But yeah, so where was I going with that? Yeah, I'm not a sauce person. So that's why I'm kind of not a big fan of stir fries and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't know what I'm gonna have. I bought sausage rolls, so I might have sausage rolls and rice. That might be yummy. But we'll see. I'm hungry, but I'm not starving yet. But I should go make something before I get starving and end up just eating a bag of chips for dinner, which is highly likely. But yeah, so that's my game plan for tonight. But like I said, reading very, very minimal today. Maybe a half an hour in total. I did read some of Wicked and the Wallflower by Sarah MacLean. But my goal had been to finish that today, but it didn't happen. I just didn't have, I've got time tonight. I could sit here and do it tonight, but I just kind of really want to, reading is vegging too, but do you know what I mean? So tomorrow I'm going to spend some time listening to my audiobook. I'm going to do some reading. The only thing I have to do tomorrow is I do have 2 videos to film. One is for Read Bliss. So I'm going to get those done first thing in the morning before Garrett starts the 3D printer. As you can probably hear it in the background of every one of my videos for the last little while. I kind of laid down the law the other day, and I told him, and I said, like, it didn't happen this week, but it's going to start happening for next week, that he needs to not be printing on Friday nights, because my goal is to film everything Friday nights. But last night was kind of busy, and I wasn't completely prepared to do the Read Bliss video, so I held that one off, and I'm going to do that one tomorrow once he gets up. I will film both of those, that one, and I also have one for my own channel that's going to go up on Thursday, which is an anticipated reads for June. So I'm going to film both of those tomorrow morning, and then I can spend tomorrow afternoon kind of editing them and stuff like that. So, like, that part of it takes no time to, not that it takes no time to do, but it's kind of, sitting on the couch, YouTube on in the background kind of work, so it doesn't bother me in the least. And reading and listening to audiobook work too, which is great. And then Monday, I have no plans at all. So this might be a potentially boring vlog with me just recording here on the couch, but you know, it is what it is. But you can see we've got the window, the shade open and stuff like that, and the door's open a little bit because the cats like to be able to smell the outside. And my Paddington Bear is over my shoulder. You can see him up on the table there. So yeah, so that is it for today. I thank you guys. I'm probably not going to check in again tonight because I'm probably not going to get a lot of reading done, or if any. I would like to read a little bit of my 40 Years of Harlequin project book, the Wild West Wife by Susan Mallory. I'd like to get some of that read tonight, but I will update you guys on that one tomorrow. Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to mention, because the video went up last night for the kickoff for the Summer Romance Book Bingo, you guys are unbelievable. The amount of comments and views I've had on that video, you guys are all super stoked. I am super stoked. I cannot wait. My plan is a bit later to jump onto the message boards and start answering some questions and stuff. So yeah, I am super, super excited about that starting. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. And we have some great co-hosts that have agreed to host for the summer. Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books, Lindsay from The Wandering Reader, who else? Kim and Anita are both going to be hosting, but or co-hosting with us. But I will be doing one more video before it starts on the 31st. So 2 Fridays, like 2 Fridays from now, like not yesterday, but not next Friday, but the Friday after. I will be doing kind of like a quick little like jump off point where I'll be talking about all the co-hosts that we're going to have, along with just a welcome to the Summer Romance Book Bingo. So yeah, so we will talk more about that at a later date. But for now, guys, I hope you have a good evening. I'm going to go relax, finish editing my video that's supposed to be up already, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys. Hello, everybody. It is Sunday morning. It is the 19th of May, and it is about 10:15 in the morning. Quick little update. As predicted, I did not get really any reading at all done last night. I read a couple chapters of my current Babysitters Club book while I was having my dinner. And I ended up having macaroni and cheese, like Kraft Dinner, if anyone's interested. I was just that lazy. But I have already had a very productive morning. I got up and I filmed the 2 videos that I wanted to get filmed today, the one for Read Bliss and the one for my channel. So yay on that. Right now I have to run out. When we were doing our grocery shopping yesterday, we forgot 2 key things that we need for dinner for the next few nights: salad dressing and sour cream. So I have to go pick that up. But the other thing that I have to pick up is I was working on my cross-stitch picture last night and realized there was one cross-stitch floss color that I didn't have. So I have to go to Michael's. And luckily the Michael's is right beside like a grocery store. So I'm just going to kind of do both. And then maybe grab a Tim Hortons on the way home. And then I plan to spend the rest of the afternoon or the rest of today. It won't take me long to edit those 2 videos. So I want to do that and work some more on my cross stitch, and then also do get a lot of reading done. I plan on getting a good another 4 hours or so listened to on my audiobook, and I typically do that while I'm editing, like while the videos are like rendering or what have you, or whatever it's called, exporting. And then pretty much spend the afternoon. I might watch a CSI and some booktube, definitely. And then tomorrow will be nothing to do at all. Nothing's gonna be open really, no stores or anything like that. Because we're in the city, the McDonald's and the Timmy's and the gas stations and stuff like that will be open. But, for like shopping, like the Walmart and the mall and stuff like that will all be closed. So that's perfectly okay by me. It means I have no excuse to have to go out and do anything. Because I do want just a day to relax. Maybe stay in my jammies even all day. It's supposed to be a beautiful day today. I am wearing my coat right now, but I'm sitting in the car. It's about 15 degrees out. So for my American friends, it's about 60 degrees, I would say, because it's double it and add 30. So doubling it would be 30, add 30 is 60. Oh, good for me for math. But yeah, so reading for today so far, I've only got about 20 pages read. I read a little bit of Wild West Wife by Susan Mallory. But yeah, I will definitely update you guys later on today and let you know how I am going. So I also spent a bit of time this morning responding to comments on my last couple videos, and as well as responding to comments and things like that in the Summer Romance Book Bingo threads on Goodreads, in the group on Goodreads. So go check that out if you're interested. And yeah, I will talk to you guys in a bit. Bye, guys. Hi everybody, it is Sunday night. It is about 11 o'clock at night and I'm about ready to head to bed. This is totally the reason why I don't vlog anymore, is because I always forget to do it. I'm just not used to doing it again, that's part of the problem. But semi-eventful, not eventful. I had a good reading day. I did not get nearly the amount of hours I wanted to get done read for this weekend's readathon. I think I said 8, I got 4, so that's not too bad. I listened to some of my audiobook. I ended up, sorry, I'm just going to move so I can rest my arm because I cannot hold this. So let me just do this. There we go. Now I can talk to you guys and not, whoops, and not completely hurt my arm. So I finished a book today, Wicked and the Wallflower by Sarah MacLean. This was fantastic. 4.5 stars. I will talk more about it, of course, when I do my weekly reads this upcoming week. But I really, really enjoyed this. I'm very much looking forward to the next book in the series, which I think comes out at the end of July. So that one might be a pick it up when it comes out and read it for probably the summer romance book bingo for something. I'm trying to think of what I have for my categories because I put my card together today. I did the random card generator, like when you go on and you can just do it picks you a random card. I did that, but then I put those categories into the card that I created so it looks prettier. So I did that. So that's what I'll be working off of. And my goal is, just a side note, for the for the summer romance book bingo, is I am only going for one card. I'm gonna try and black out one card or get a full card throughout the course of the summer. And because I've got a lot of, like, I do other challenges and things like that, and I don't want to completely overwhelm myself. So if I finish that one, I might try for another one, but we shall see. My goal, though, is 8 squares a month, and then plus the reader's choice. So 8 times 3 is 24, and then plus 1 is the 25. So the reader's choice can be really any book that I read. So that one's pretty easy. But when I'm doing my my monthly TBRs for June, July, and August, I will, of course, be including what books I will be reading for what challenges. So that's going to be fun. I got some good ones on my card. I literally, I think last year I ran, well, no, because last year we had all the same categories. So everybody got the same categories regardless. But I know this idea and the website that I used actually came from a number of years ago. There was a podcast called Books on the Nightstand, which I absolutely loved, and I'm so sad it's gone. But every summer they did a summer book bingo, and that's kind of where I borrowed this idea from. And I remember I did it like for a year or two, and when I was doing that one, I would refresh it a couple times until I got like categories I really liked. Now, I mean, all the categories that I picked for this one or that we had for this one, I was fine reading any of them, but I got some really good ones because it's quite diverse in a way. With the types of books that I'm going to be reading. Like, I got the Amish category, I got the LGBTQ category, I got a cowboy romance, I got a book over 500 pages. You know, like, so there's kind of a lot on there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I am still doing the debate on listening to Voyager by Diana Gabaldon as my book over 500 pages. Because I have not read a book in the Outlander series in about 2 years. I did Dragonfly and Amber a couple years ago. I actually have been thinking about doing an Outlander reread and starting back at book number 1. Would anybody else be interested in that? I know Shannon was doing it with another channel, that they were doing like the Game of Thrones. But if anyone is interested in doing that, we could do it over a good span of time. Like, you know, we could maybe start in July and do each book over a course of 2 months, because they are almost 1,000-page books, most of them. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Like, as a channel, to do an Outlander read-along, like, of all the books in the series. And I do have a copy of, I'm staring at it on my bookshelf right now, a copy of 7 Stones to Stand and Fall, which are the short stories that go in between. We could kind of, maybe if there's a short story in between a couple of the books, we could read that, like, you know, in between. Like, if there's one, but I don't think there's one between book 1 and 2. But, like, maybe between book 2 and 3. We could read, like July and August, read book 1. August, September, October, read book 2. And then October, and then in November, read the short story. And then December, January, go on to book 3. Do you know what I mean? If anyone else would be interested in doing that, if you've never read Outlander, if you kind of want to reread it, let me know your thoughts. I think that would be fun. If not, I might just do it for myself, just like as a fun personal challenge. I think that might be. But instead of trying to fit one of those huge books into a monthly TBR, I mean, even to listen to it on audio, I think they're anywhere between 30 and 50 hours on audio. So, I mean, it's a commitment, you guys. It's a serious commitment. But they're such good books. Oh my God, they're such good books. So let me know your thoughts. Sorry, total random tangent on this, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the weekend, the Create Your Readathon weekend. So yeah, so I got this finished. I finished this book today. I got a bit more read on Wild West Wife by Susan Mallory, which I'm really, really enjoying. It's a lot of fun. It's a great Susan Mallory. I don't think I've read a Susan Mallory historical before. I don't know how many of them she actually wrote. I know Susan Wiggs did a number of historicals. I mean, I'm reading the Chicago Fire trilogy right now by her. But I don't know, I don't recall off the top of my head how many historical Susan Mallory has written. I think this might be one of her only ones, but don't quote me on that one. But yeah, so I read that. I've listened to a bit more. I didn't listen to very much, but I listened to a bit more of Truth or Beard by Penny Reid, which is kind of fun. I'm finding, though, right now I'm not having much of an interest in picking it up because it's a little slow at the beginning. I'm still only a few hours into it. I did not really get any audiobook listening done time today either. After I talked to you guys this morning when I was going out to go get the floss and stuff that I needed for my cross stitch, I listened to it a bit in the car, so maybe a half an hour. But tomorrow I've got to buckle down and listen to it because it's due back at the library in like 3 days. So I do have to finish it, and it's like a 13-hour long audiobook. So yeah, I kind of want to plow through and try and get as much of that read tomorrow as I can. I, of course, will be continuing this vlog tomorrow because it is a stat holiday. It's Victoria Day. I heard the fireworks going off earlier. I was talking to Garrett in Walmart yesterday, and they were selling fireworks, and I said, oh, they'll be going off tomorrow night, like Saturday night and tonight. And Garrett's like, where have you been? They've been going off for days. So it tends to be the way it goes. Like, if there's a firework holiday coming up, people like, oh, the week before is perfectly acceptable to do it. I don't mind. It was really cloudy and rainy today, so they really didn't do it for very long. I think tomorrow will be tomorrow's usually the big day for the fireworks, like the day of. So we shall see. And I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like tomorrow either. Probably cold and wet and dark and not spring or summer like weather, you guys. It's cold. So yeah. What else did I have to share with you guys? Oh, sorry, I don't mean to yawn in your face. I have talked about this before, but I decided to give it another shot because I do follow them on Instagram. So the Read Me Romance podcast, that I know Steph from Steph's Romantic Book Talk, she loves this and she listens to all of them. And my issue with it is that they kind of tend to stick with very erotic stories, which I have no problem with. I'm fine with a bit of steam and a bit of schmut in my romance, but I think personally it could do with a little bit more variety, but that's just me. So I decided to give it another try, and I thought, you know what, I don't have to, because the way the Read Me Romance podcast works, if you guys are not familiar with it, it is a free podcast. You can get it on iTunes, you can get it on Google Podcast. I don't know, is there a Google Podcast thing? I use a program called Podcast Unlimited, which is a free download, and I was able to access it through there. And so it doesn't cost you anything, and they are short stories, essentially. So over the course of a week, Monday through Friday, they put out another part of the story. So you get it in 5 parts. Now, I know some people will sit and, binge the entire thing, from start to finish, as if they were listening to a full-on audiobook. or you can listen to it each day as it comes out, which is pretty much the way I'm going to go. There are not a lot of podcasts I really listen to anymore. It's something, not that I have a problem with them, but I found that I was listening to so many of them, and a lot of them I wasn't really enjoying as much anymore. So I've narrowed it down to like my favorites, which are Sawbones, which is a medical history podcast, which I absolutely love. There is Smart Bitches Trashy Books. Of course, I've been listening to that one for years, and I love that too. Heaving Bosoms is so much fun. It is a great podcast. They pick a different book every week, and they read it and, you know, analyze it. And they're always romance novels, of course, you know, based on the title, right? And then, what's the other one that I do? Too Stupid to Live, I think it's called, and they go back to like really old romances and like review them or something. So yeah, that one, I just downloaded that one recently, and I think I've only listened to one episode, and now of course Read Me Romance. So, you know, I'll listen to it interdispersed amongst my other podcasts that I listen to. You know, so when I get time, because mostly I listen to audiobooks. So, I mean, who knows? Like I said, I'm going to give it a try and see what I think. If they end up just being like too much of the same thing every time, I might just have to, you know, put it by the wayside, because, you know, like I watch Steph's weekly reads or weekly updates, and she every week talks about another one, and they all just seem very erotic. And, you know, again, there's no problem with that. That's fine. That's, you know, and I know that's her personal favorite type of romance. Whereas I'm more of a contemporary or even a historical person. So, you know, that might have adult content, but it's not the basis of the story. That's the difference, right? And I'm not saying this in a bad way, and I don't want people to think I'm coming down on it. There is some really good, you know, very spicy adult romance. And, you know, I think it all depends, and especially when you're talking about something that's a short story. When you're talking about something that's under 100 pages long, it's kind of hard to get an actual story in there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but I will keep you guys updated as my weekly reads progress. Totally different ballgame. So what else have I been doing today? I've been watching some BookTube tonight. That was kind of been my big night. And I've been sitting here cross stitching. I had to put it down about an hour ago and just sit, because you're leaning over and your arms are sitting a certain way that I had to put it down because my back and my neck were killing me. But look at this, you guys. I am almost done. Look at that candle. Like, look at that. That is good. And do you see the flowers at the bottom? Is that not stunning? I mean, yes, I stitched that. That's great. But that's purely the designer, you guys. Like, that's how well it was designed. These patterns are worth every penny. I mean, her patterns are amazing. Like, look at this, the shading in that candle. I mean, it looks three-dimensional. It's amazing. It's a pain to stitch, because I think there's 3 different pinks in that candle. And then on the inside, on the eye, there's 3 different colors of yellow. And then if you look at the candle flame, there is 2 oranges and a yellow in there. And then the actual, like, smoke coming off, there's 2 different grays. So, yes, you are changing colors quite a bit, but the effect is absolutely worth it. That is gorgeous. I love it. I will finish it tomorrow. I've still got, below the candle, the base to do. And then I've got a little bit of back stitching on this, and then I'm done. And then I can start the next one for Garrett in his World of Warcraft series of them that I'm doing. So it's kind of a nice break between these ones, because these are a little bit more involved. To do a smaller one that I could finish over the course of a few weeks. So it kind of gives it a nice break. And it makes these last longer too, because I'm thoroughly enjoying stitching them. There will be 8 in total. This is the second one. So I've still got 6 more to go. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, so that's what I've been kind of working on all day today. But anyway, guys, this clip has gone on for quite a little while. I will let you guys go, but like I said, the vlog is going to continue tomorrow. Even though the Create Your Own Readathon will be over, I will still update you guys on my reading and how my day went, and I'll talk to you then. Bye, guys. Here we are, slobbed out on the couch with the Goran. He loves his tummy rubs, don't you, bud? Loves his tummy rubs. He's highly stressed, if you can't tell. I mean, this cat just, you know. I swear, I always joke in my next life I'm coming back as a cat. Hey? Hey? Excuse me. Are you gonna let the people see your pretty face? Hey, where's that face? There he is. Say hi. Hi. Look at that face. Hi everybody, it is Monday night. Happy Victoria Day to all my fellow Canadians. The May 24 today, as it is affectionately known as. It usually falls right around the 24th of May, which is why it's called the May 24. It's just kind of one of those, like, I don't want to say pop culture, but those Canadianisms, I guess you'd say, that we call it, and I think a lot of people kind of refer to it as, it's typically, I think I mentioned before, it's the quote-unquote unofficial start of summer, much like Memorial Day is in the US. And a lot of people head up north to cottage country, at least from our area here in southern Ontario, to open up cottages and trailers and get their boats on the water and stuff like that. It was cold this weekend, you guys. It was cold and rainy and cloudy and not pleasant. So I don't know if you can hear that in the background. I know Garrett's stupid 3D printer is going off again, but they are lighting off fireworks outside. I don't know why. It's cloudy, it's overcast, but I guess that's okay. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so, you know, evidently a lot of drinking is involved. So a 24 case of beer or the May 24. Again, a Canadianism. So yeah, so that was today. So I had a pretty lazy day, but I actually had a very productive day, even though it was lazy. So this morning when I got up, I edited the other video. Yesterday I had edited and sent off the Read Bliss video that I filmed yesterday morning. So that's good, that's done. So that was all done yesterday. And then this morning when I got up, while I was having my coffee, I edited the video that's going up on Thursday here on the channel, the anticipated reads video. So that's exciting. And then my mom sent me a text message because when her and I were at bingo on Saturday, there was a lady I got talking to because I was reading Wicked and the Wallflower, and I had it kind of sitting on the table, and I got up to use the bathroom, and when I came back, this older lady, like, you know, she's probably older than my mom, she asked me, do I enjoy those kind of books? And I said, yes, I do. And then we got talking about books, which is always really fun. And, you know, she said her daughter got her into reading on an e-reader, like reading on her phone. She has a much bigger phone than I have. You guys have probably seen them, like the kind of oversized cell phones. And she said she does most of her reading on her Kindle, like on her phone. And I love hearing that. I really, really do, because she made a comment that sometimes with mass market paperback, she finds now, the print is too small for her eyes. And that was my mom's complaint as well. And why she loves her Kindle, because of the fact that you can increase the font size. And really, you know, I know people talk so much about physical books, and I love physical books too, but that's what I mean, e-readers are fantastic for those who have, you know, issues with the print being too small, because you do get some of these mass market paperbacks or you know, physical books in general, and the print is so tiny. You know, and even me, you know, I do wear glasses. You know, I take them off 9 times out of 10 for the video because I get the glare. Like, I can see without my glasses. I can actually see very, very well without my glasses. The problem is that if I don't wear them, my eyesight starts to deteriorate. So I kind of have to wear them most of the time. And my eyes do get very tired very quickly. Like, if I'm filming a bunch of videos, and especially if I'm trying to read off my tablet, by the time I'm done, my eyes are usually really tired. I have tried contacts, and I'm just not a fan of them. If I could figure out a way, I think eventually at some point, you know, I might invest in a camera, but my phone works just as well. So, you know, the only problem is, again, you get, in my glasses, you would see, like, the video. Do you know what I mean? So that's the whole reason I don't wear them. But regardless, that's neither here nor there. Where was I going? Oh, yeah, so I was talking to this lovely lady at bingo about reading, and she said that she has a bunch of books that she's kind of getting rid of, and she says she was going to drop them at the thrift store, or bring them into the hall, like, because there's like a bookcase in the back of the bingo hall. It's like a little free library you can like drop off books and pick up books and stuff like that. And I've taken books in there myself. So she said that next time she saw my mom, she would bring some into her. So my mom texted me earlier this morning, and she said she was at bingo because they were having a free session this morning. And she's like, there's some books here. Did you want to come and pick them up? I'm like, sure. So I got dressed, and I headed off to the bingo hall, and it was packed. I mean, you put the word free in anything, and you are going to get everybody there. So it was really, really busy, but I came in, and I don't like I don't like being there when it's that busy. And Mom said to me, she's like, do you want to stay for the next session? And I'm like, okay. So a good chunk of people left, so it wasn't as busy, but it was still pretty busy. One lady, not us, not anybody in our group, because there was like 5, my mom had like 4 of her friends there with her bingo buddies. And one lady in the hall today won $10,000. $10,000. I did that years ago. I did that at bingo 15 years ago now, probably. Yeah, about 15 years ago. I got lucky and won 10 grand, but I have never seen that kind of money since. But yeah, so I was really thrilled for her, and I love that everybody gets so excited for everybody else. It's you know, you're a little bummed, you're like, oh, I wish it was me, but you're still really happy for somebody else, you know what I mean? So it was a game that you had to get like a full card in, was it 48 numbers or less? So they count each ball as it's called. So you had to get it in less than 48 numbers called, and she got it in 47. So good for her. So that was pretty awesome for that person. But anyway, so I ended up staying, and then I got home about 3 o'clock, and I was tired, but I'm like, I'm not going to have a nap because I have to go back to work tomorrow. So I stayed up, and I read. I sat and I read and I read, and the other productive part of today is I finished 2 books, you guys. 2. So the first one that I finished was my audiobook, and that was Truth or Beard by Penny Reed, the first book in the Winston Brothers series. I enjoyed this one. I didn't love it. I found it very difficult to get into. The beginning of it, like the first third of the book, just seemed to drag, and I just wasn't interested in the story. But then once I got past that, it was okay, and I was just kind of like, I was actually listening to it at the hall, like you know, during intermission and stuff. I had like my headphone in my ears and stuff like that, and I was listening to it, and I was listening to it in the car ride there and back and stuff like that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. 3.5 stars. I'll talk more about it when I do my weekly wrap up. But it was pretty much, it wasn't a second chance romance, but it was a one where the 2 characters knew each other right from when they were kids. And then when they were 18, our main female lead, Jess, went off to college and came back, and now she's back in town, and she's actually a math teacher at the local school. And the boy that she's kind of hooking up with, if you will, his name's Dwayne. Sorry, it's late and I'm tired. She didn't like him at all. Like, she couldn't stand him, and now she's kind of got these feelings for him, and it's a very adult book, but it was really good. The other book that I finished, yay, I am so happy I finished this one too, was Wild West Wife by Susan Mallory. Whoops, I'm flicking this thing around. FYI, for anyone else who wants to read this one, it is available on ebook. I looked. It is on the Kindle. And she has actually written a number of historical romances. I did not realize that, so now I'm going to have to hunt them out. They all look like they're available on ebook, so that is fantastic. So I will have to pick them up as I go. And yeah, but this one is available on ebook with a different cover, actually a very pretty cover. I will stick the cover up here of like, so when you're looking for it on Amazon, you'll know what it looks like by the cover. But this is the original edition. This is a Harlequin historical from I think this is my 1998 book. I can't remember what year this book was. Like, it's for my 40 Years of Harlequin project. But essentially, a very quick, basic plot. I gave this one 3.5 stars too. Yeah, 1998. I gave this one 3.5 stars too. It was good, but it wasn't like, I mean, it was really enjoyable. It just didn't blow me out of the water, essentially. But essentially, our main character, Jesse, his father was murdered by this guy by the name of Lucas. And Lucas he's a pretty bad guy around town. And Jesse pretty much wants to see him pay for what he did to his dad. So he kidnaps his mail order bride. Lucas called for a mail order bride. Her name is Haley. And right at the very beginning of the book, Jesse kidnaps her, and then it's kind of their story. Where she thinks that Lucas is this amazing, upstanding citizen, and he's very honorable, and Jesse is, of course, a kidnapper. So, but he's trying to tell her that no, he's not the man you think he is, and I don't want you to marry him, kind of an idea. So, it goes from there. It was cute. It was enjoyable. This is book 5 in the Montana Mavericks. I think it's the Welcome to Whitehorn? Welcome to Whitehorn, Montana series, I think. Something like that. The other books I looked in this series, I think there's 7 books in total. This is another one of I've talked about the Montana Mavericks series before. And the way this series works is that there are tons, I think there's something like 10 or 15 series within the Montana Mavericks. And they cover different branches of the family and stuff like that. And they're all written by different authors. And this one, for this series, this Welcome to Whitehorn or whatever it is, this is actually the only historical one in the bunch. So you get this is the 5th book I said. So the first 4 books were published under the Silhouette Intimate Moments, or not Silhouette Intimate Moments, Silhouette Special Edition banner or imprint. And then this one was a historical, and then they go back to the special edition, which is, it's kind of interesting. But it's like, the family tree kind of an idea, and going back to like maybe the grandparents or great-grandparents, because this takes place in, what year does this take place in? It would tell me here. 1879. So 140 years ago, because I was born in 1979. So 140 years ago. So yeah, so this was enjoyable. I liked it. 3.5 stars. So that's all the reading that's not all the reading I got done today. I also got read about half of, as you can see from my bookmark, about half of A Creed Country Christmas by Linda Leon Miller. This is book number 4 in the Montana Creed series, talking about going back and forth from a contemporary to a historical. So the first 3 books in this series were Dylan, Tyler, and Logan, which were about 3 brothers. And within those stories, I think it's their great-grandfather, Lincoln Creed, is mentioned. And, what a rough and tumble guy he was and stuff like this. This is Lincoln's story. So I really kind of love that aspect that you're going back and forth in history. And this one takes place in 1910. So it's a bit more of a modern historical. It's, 79, 20, 30, something like that. 30 years after, that one takes place kind of. And that's a Montana story. This one takes place in Montana as well. So yeah, so I am already, like I said, halfway through this one, and I just started it around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, I haven't been sitting here reading it nonstop. About every hour or so, I'm taking a break from my cross-stitching, and because I need to stretch. I know, it's not like cross-stitch is some sort of major sport, but the way you sit and the way I have to hold the cross-stitch frame, it does tend to hurt my hand and my arm, and it makes it kind of cramp. So it's a good way for me to take breaks and stretch a bit and get up, and I get up and I walk around a bit and I do some reading. So I read about 20 pages. Now, if I was to sit down and read this and do nothing else, I could finish this in less than a couple hours. This book is, I'll show you guys, I believe this is actually meant to be a novella, even though it's listed as book number 4 in the series. But look at the print, you guys, and the margins. And it's one of those smaller, hardcovers. It is a hardcover, but it's smaller. And I think it comes in at, how many pages does it come in at? 250 pages. But this was also published, I was looking at, oops, I knocked my glasses over. When I was looking it up online, it was also published in an anthology. So I don't know which came first, whether this edition came first or the one in the anthology, and then they reprinted it, in this gorgeous edition. But it's a really cute Christmas story. So like I said, it's about Lincoln, and he meets this woman by the name of Juliana, who is a school teacher, and, he kind of needs a mother for his daughter, and she kind of needs a place to live because it's wintertime in Montana. It's just a few days before Christmas. So this is a really adorable Christmas story, and of course I will give you guys a full update on my weekly reads this week, because I guarantee I will finish this one tomorrow. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about before I let you go, I'm almost done my cross stitch. I'm not going to show it to you. I'm gonna make you wait till Saturday. But as I was putting my book down so I could film this, I looked at my bookmark and I realized 3 or 4 weeks ago, a month ago, guys, I'm so bad, I got some new bookmarks in the mail that I ordered, and I never showed them to you. So I thought I'd show them to you now, if you don't mind. So I ordered from SJ Wonderlands. There's her shop name on Etsy. Of course, I will leave it linked in the description box below. But I got 4 new bookmarks, and I really, really love them. So the first one, drink tea, read books, be happy. My total, like, it's my little slogan thing on my YouTube page. So I thought this was just so pretty, and I had to get, I mean, it had my name all over it. So I definitely had to get that one. I had to get this one. Speaking of bookmarks that have my name all over it, like, all of these were so absolutely perfect for me. So this one, it says, these are a few of my favorite things. And it's got what's probably a coffee mug, but I'm going to say it's tea, a black cat, and a stack of books. Like, I mean, honestly. Like, look it over my shoulder. The black cat up there. And you guys will have seen a little clip before this of the Goran being Mr. Lazy on the couch that I filmed. And then I got this one, which is a quote from Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I love it. She's doing some of these where she takes, like, famous quotes from books, and she'll put the page number at the bottom. So page 1349. Yes, Gone with the Wind is a long book. It says, I won't think of it now. I can't stand it if I do. I'll think of it tomorrow at Tara. Tomorrow's another day. That very famous quote from Gone with the Wind. And last but not least, this is the whole reason I placed the order. And then if you're going to order one, you might as well order a few, because shipping to Canada can be expensive. So with these, I mean, there's nothing to add another one to the order, another 4. 3, I should say. So this is the whole reason I got this one. It's an X-Files bookmark, you guys. Is that not awesome? So, of course, you've got the I Want to Believe poster that is hanging over Mulder's desk. And then all the books listed below are all episode titles. Acadia Squeeze, which was one of the creepiest episodes. Oubliette, Dwayne Barry. That's an iconic few episodes. Quagmire, Humbug, Chimongi, Chinga, Chinga, I believe. Sorry, I said that wrong. Home. You want to talk about a creepy episode? I did hear not long ago that Home is one of the only episodes that they will not rebroadcast on on television, like in syndication, because it was that disturbing to a lot of people. And it's that one and the one with the... There's one about a plastic surgeon that creeped me right out, and there was one about robot cockroaches those are like the 3 episodes. Home, I know what's coming, so it's not as creepy as it was the first time I watched it. But if you guys are X-Files fans, you probably know the episode I'm talking about. It's about the family that lives in that house, and the dad died or something like that. And then Tombs was a good episode. I think that was the sequel to Squeeze. It came out a few years later. And then Mulder and Scully meet the were-monsters. So yes, I had to get that. So now that I've shown them to you guys, I can use them, because they've been sitting up on my bookshelf, and I keep forgetting every single time I do a weekly reads. I'm like, I've got to remember to show these, and then I completely forget. So anyway, I'm glad I've done that now. Last thing before I let you guys go, I know I mentioned it in another clip in this video, but I start talking about things, and people might forget what I've mentioned. But I am seriously interested in doing an Outlander read-along. We don't have to do the short stories, that's fine. You can read those at your leisure if you choose to. If you've got a copy of Seven Stones to Stand and Fall, or you've got them on ebook or whatever. Excuse me. But I'm thinking, if I've got some interest, even just a handful of people to start, we'll start at book number 1, and we'll read that in July and August. We'll read it over 2 months. We'll read each of the books over 2 months, then we'll move on to Dragonfly and Amber, and then Voyager. And I thought, maybe I could even do extra videos, like every other week do a video, every month do a video, whatever you guys want. I just think that would be a lot of fun, and kind of fun as a group read. We'll figure out how many chapters are in the book, and, we'll do each book over 8 weeks, and, divide up the chapters amongst the number of weeks, and kind of like do a read along. We'll open up threads on the Goodreads group or whatever. So let me know your thoughts, you guys, if you're interested in that. But anyway, I have rambled on long enough in this clip. I will let you guys go, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.